This best ball and best bets edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play their fantasy pick 'em for a chance to win 100x in NBA, golf, MLB, MMA, NHL, more. Sign up today at UnderdogFantasy.com using promo code SGPN to get a 100% deposit match.
Hey, this is Larry the Cable Guy. You're listening to SGP. Wait, hold on. Say it again. Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
First one of the year, Sean.
Oh yeah, the Best Ball Mania draft is live. They got what is it? $15 million in prizes.
Little controversy about the payout structure.
Oh wow, people don't like the flat payout structure.
It's different, Sean. What do you think? What happens when things change?
Because I feel like everyone was complaining about, oh, it's too top heavy. What about us, the guys who are EV and get in the top 20, and then we don't get the flat payout structure? I thought all the nerds wanted the flat payout structure.
In some ways, it's more top heavy, I guess.
Like regular season prizes.
Well, I think the biggest thing is you really get your nut back if you make it to the final.
You have to know when to come.
It's almost like they designed it around the idea that if you max enter and you make a single entry to the final, you get your money back. Like that. It seems
that's
like,
when they
seems like that's like a cut that like I'm sure they won't say this out loud, but that seems like the construct that that's the exact amount that essentially you end up with. So
doesn't seem like a coincidence.
They're smart people over there.
Ryan, we're gonna dive in with our first ever first of the season.
No, it's first ever.
Okay.
First ever Best Ball Mania 5.
You're right. Yeah. It is the first Best Ball Mania 5. Of course, head over to Underdog Fantasy, get involved in their pick 'em, higher, lower. Everyone loves those. And of course, use the promo code SGPN, get you a 100% deposit match up to $100. Joining us on the line from the NBA Gambling Podcast, maybe we'll even talk a little higher, lower. Terrell, the villain, Furman. What's happening, Terrell?
Oh, it's great. It is great. I get to sit here and talk about the Boston Celtics, which I hate. I hate them almost as much as Kendrick Lamar hates Drake. And so I love the fact that I get to just sit up here. Like the hater juices, all these diss tracks have just been fueling the heat within me. And I'm ready to let it all out. And we get a brand new series that I can do that.
Yeah, unfortunately for us, the Celtics did advance, got by the Heat. Not much of a series.
Why? Why? Unfortunately,
it was actually much of a series because we hit the series spread. Spread was 3.5 games. We hit the series spread.
Well, and also, do you not see what's happening here?
What's that?
Well,
setting up for a bigger disappointment.
20 years ago, it was 2004. The Yankees were up 3-0 on the Boston Red Sox. Could we have revenge? In around little Eastern Conference Finals, ultimate butthole clenching moment for this Celtics team.
Wow,
as
right?
New York underdog Knicks, the entire country behind them as they're rooting against this pussy ass Boston Celtics team and their pussy ass fans jerking off Tom Brady at the roast.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
Sounds like there was some pretty offensive stuff at that roast. By the way, unrelated. I don't think
Nikki
I'll watch.
Glazer, who, if you follow,
she was great.
If you follow the LA comedy scene, Ryan actually roasted Nikki Glazer in our garage way back in the day.
We
gotta try and find some of those clips.
Sean, it might actually be around the same year that Eli roasted Tom Brady for the first time.
Oh,
yeah,
that year.
Some serious,
probably 2012.
So no, 2008,
11,
no,
2000. Yeah.
When was the first? Because the first roast we did was only a couple years in. I think it was like someone leaving the premises, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we'll have to go back.
SGP stories idea.
Yeah, for one
Here
of the
we go.
SGP stories,
the comedy garage.
Make sure you check out the SGP stories. The latest one we did with CJ. Amazing story about trying to collect. What was it, like $200, right, off this guy?
Let's just say there was an issue with some payments.
Yeah,
and it's just a can't miss story with actual physical evidence. If you are on the Patreon, you can see the actual.
I put the PDF. CJ said in the screenshots. The file name of the PDF was like liar guy who owed us money and wouldn't pay us. It was really, if you've ever tried to collect a couple $100, whatever it is, from someone in a gambling sense, and you've ever had someone string you along, the text exchange is just so hilarious in written form. The excuses,
and now CJ's on the network.
Yep.
Oh, this explains it. I was wondering why someone referenced the PDF, because I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like we linked to it in the post, but I'm curious as to why you're reacting to it right now. And I see that you also posted
I didn't realize
just the PDF, which it's almost like we should frame it.
Yeah, maybe we'll get printed out, get it framed.
I think we should do that.
Kramer, you're already looking past the Pacers.
What do you mean?
Well, you said you were already talking about the Celtics.
I'm not on the team.
Okay.
I'm saying what we're building towards.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Is this amazing potential reversal of fortune moment where the big dog gets taken down by the little dog with the bigger bite.
I think you guys are the littler dog with the bigger bite in that instance. All right, enough messing around.
It's a great analogy. Thank you.
Let's get to the best bets for May 7th with Terrell here from the NBA Gambling Podcast. First up, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Boston Celtics. Celtics laying 11.5, total sitting at 208.5. Terrell, I don't want to bet on the Celtics here, but I think I have
you
to.
shouldn't.
This Cavs
it's not a good idea. It's a horrible idea.
But this Cavs team, they are horrible on the road. They could barely break 90 points against the Magic. I worry the Celtics team is just going to steamroll them. Talk me out of taking the Celtics.
Well, the reason, let's rewind and go back in time a little bit, because we were all on Orlando in the series, and we can say it because we were on Orlando plus 1.5. That hit, by the way. We just didn't hit the money line series spread. We hit the 1.5. So just throwing it out there, people. But the thing about that is, what was the handicap? Cleveland plays down the competition. Orlando, while they are a playoff team, are viewed as lesser competition. They don't have anybody that really has a lot of playoff experience. It's a young, new head coach, a couple years into the team. Paolo Banchero, best player, 21 years old. They just weren't old enough. And somehow, some way, the Cavs were going to fold that. And we were right up until the last 2 quarters of the series. We were absolutely right up until the last 2 quarters. So now I'm telling you, and I'm saying that, hey, this is an opportunity where they're playing a team that they get up for. They hate the Celtics team. They get up for this team. If you look at the 3 regular season meetings that these 2 teams had, the Cavs covered every single one. They had players missing in those games, and they still found a way to cover those spots against the Celtics. And then the last one, they won outright when the Celtics blew a 20-point lead in the 4th quarter, and Dean Wade lit them up. So I'm not betting on this Celtics team to close anything, to finish anything. I don't think that they're going to go out here. I think this is going to be a more competitive series than people think. I'm taking the series spread of Cavs plus 2.5. And I think that this is going to be a series. The Cavs are going to be able to steal 2 games here, maybe one on the road, one at home. And at the very least, it becomes interesting. Of course, the hater that I am, shout out to K-Dot, Kendrick has me taking the plus 800 on the money line spread for the Cavs because Joe Mazzulla is a horrible coach and he can absolutely blow a series. But absolutely, I think that this is going to be way more competitive than people think. These have been competitive games all year, no matter who the staff has been. So yeah, I'm taking the team that's covered all 3 games in the regular season. Give me the Cavs plus 11.5.
Now, talk to me about this, Terrell. Kristaps Porzingis out for the Celtics. How are the Cavs going to take advantage of him not being out on the court? Because I do think that's a game changer. What can they do to make sure they take advantage of that?
It's really not more of what they can do, but more of what Boston gives them, because now that Porzingis is not playing, you're not stretching the floor as often. You're not respecting Al Horford from the 3-point line like you're respecting Kristaps Porzingis. So now you get to play a little bit closer to the basket. You got two really good bigs in Jared Allen and Evan Mobley that are going to be able to rebound. And if you can rebound and dominate, then I think that you're going to be all right.
Is Jared Allen, do we know he's back for tomorrow?
It's questionable. As of right now, he is questionable.
Okay.
So we'll have to see if he officially plays. They said he was close last game and didn't play. So maybe that last game was another break that he got where he can play in this one. But it is a rib injury that has him questionable right now.
Well, yeah, that was the weird thing. Like, it seemed like he was almost going to play Game 6 against the Magic, almost going to play Game 7. Maybe they kind of realized, hey, Jared Allen, we think we can get this. All right, you've sold me. You've talked me into it. Cavs plus 11.5. Kramer, what are you doing here? What's your take on this?
Well, I mean, great points by Terrell all around.
Yes, I'm stealing all these points.
You know, I like a good alternate number.
Ooh,
here we go.
Cavs plus 6 is plus 215.
Oh, that's a pretty
mark it down on
plus
the sheet.
6.
They played a number of close games. There was a 7-point and a 9-point game. Other than that, all inside this number. So let's play the alt. Fade the Boston Celtics. If they ever get kicked in the dick, it would be game 1. I think. I don't think they have a chance of losing. But I do think they have a strong chance of looking ahead in one of these first 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, and it's weird.
They've been bad at home.
Yeah, you look at their straight up record in the playoffs at home. It has not been good, and granted, it wasn't there against the Heat, but they've had trouble. They did lose the one game they lost against the Heat was at home. They struggle when they're massive favorites at home. Now, again, obviously they closed it out okay there against the Heat, but that was a crazy. I don't know if you saw the stat, Terrell, but the Heat hit 23 threes in that game they won. They hit 21 combined in the other 5 games. That's fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
Shooting regression.
They're due.
I'll be rooting for the Cleveland Cavaliers. What about the late game Dallas Mavericks catching 3.5 in Oklahoma City? Obviously, you got the young guns in Oklahoma City, SGA, MVP-ish type season, but Mavs, Luka, Kyrie playing well together. Luka, I still felt like even though they rolled in that series, he still could have had some almost better games. Like he didn't shoot particularly well from behind the arc. He wasn't super efficient, like still got the points, but not these like crazy Luka type games. Any thoughts here on game 2? What are we doing?
Well, I'm interested in there's matchups. And so I think this series, I'm probably going to go chalk until proven otherwise, or I see otherwise, especially from Luka, because Lou Dort, I don't know if a lot of people know Lou Dort, but he played some of the best defense that I've ever seen against Brandon Ingram in that Pelican series. Like he was all in his grill. He didn't get comfortable. He couldn't get to his spot. Even shots that Brandon Ingram normally makes, he had Brandon Ingram questioning them. And so now Luka is another level of talent, but we're going to see how Lou Dort is able to play that. If Lou Dort is able to contain Luka or even Kyrie for that aspect, then I think taking one of those 2 out of the game is going to make this a very, very good series for Oklahoma City. And plus, I am the captain of SGA MVP club. I think he should be MVP. Probably going to go to Jokic, more than likely going to go to Jokic, but I was with SGA preseason. I was with them through the year. I think SGA is 100% an MVP candidate, and this is what we want to see. We want to see Luka versus SGA. So I think that the Thunder, they're going to a little bit easier on the glass than the series against the Pelicans for them. So I think they'll have a lot better rebounding numbers, and SGA probably is going to have a better game because I don't think that anybody on the Mavericks can defend him, like anybody at all. So I think SGA is going to have a great series. So yeah, I'm going to Oklahoma City laying 3.5 here.
Yeah, it does feel like Dallas, if they're able to steal one, it would be game 2. And Oklahoma City really hasn't been tested yet in the playoffs. Like New Orleans kind of hung with them game 1, but maybe some of that was, hey, we're a young team. This is the playoffs. It's a little scary. But even that game, they almost, they got the win and still hung around. Kramer, what are you doing? I'm taking the Thunder. I think. I like
Thunder fan now. You know that.
Oh, you are.
Yeah,
I didn't know
big
that.
Chet guy.
Oh, that's right. You do like Chet.
Yep. One of the few that loves that commercial they keep playing on TV that everyone seems to hate.
Right. Yeah. We should do. All right. Let's do our rendition. What a pro wants.
I don't. Yeah, I can't. I couldn't even tell you the rest of the thing.
Come on.
It's just a
Come
hum.
on.
It's just
Are
a
you
hum.
kidding
Oh,
me?
he's not watching
It's
it.
just a hum.
All right, Terrell. What a pro wants.
What a pro needs.
Yeah, I mean,
Whatever makes you happy
it's not. Yeah,
sets you free,
yeah.
and I'm
Why are we
telling
doing
you
this?
who
Yeah, I don't
did
know.
exactly what
I
a
was just
pro
trying to
wants.
pay the
Hey, lock up
What a pro
OKC minus
needs.
3.5.
I'm with you. This is the more I think about it, the more this is just an awesome smash spot for them.
And they're
much are you
pushing.
guys
So
laying?
I don't know if y'all saw the numbers, but the number of times that they played this commercial over the first round of the playoffs is
1,500.
actually absurd. Yes,
Yeah.
they are pushing for they want these guys to be the face of the league. They want these guys they want you to think about these guys when you play in the league. So I think that they're going to push OKC. I have OKC for the series. I think OKC is going to win the series. I think this is going to be a great series, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Mavericks do force this one to go 7, because I think this is going to be a back and forth between both of these two teams. But I just think OKC is going to be able to pull it out in the end.
As much as Kyrie is a little bit of a wild card, Luka and Kyrie also a pretty dynamic duo potential.
Dangerous.
And
Dangerous.
No, I'm saying off the court, just in terms of star power. I'm going back to the alt line. Alt lines only. I did plus 215 again. OKC minus 9.5. To your point, this could be I'm calling for the wash game. Game 1, disinterested Mavs team. OKC, everyone's in their seats, very excited.
OKC, ton of rest, young guys. I could see them
also the most like brown nosing fan base left in the. I mean, they are there on time. Shout out to them.
Well,
and if we throw the trends. Out there. They clashed this line in 3 of the 4 meetings versus OKC this season. So they have pretty good familiarity with this team. They've had good success with them in the past. I think it's a good look.
Smash.
All right, Terrell, thanks for hopping on. Thanks for giving us your best bets. Our best bets is I'm going with Terrell on both them. Toss out your X handle, Terrell.
At really real __ at really real _ and
what are you laughing at?
I'm just thinking about how awkward it is to ask another man to throw out their X handle.
Throw out the X. X gonna give it to you.
I'm just thinking a man's body only has
it did sound
handles.
It sounded very a no Diddy was probably needed there.
I knew Terrell's. Well, the problem is CJ has a
underscore
X but he only has 1. Terrell has 2, and I was trying to buy time because I was trying to remember if he had 1 underscore or 2 underscores at the end of his name. So
the guy with 2 doesn't even tweet.
Terrell's underscore is longer than CJ's.
I was going to say, are you saying his underscore is bigger than that's?
We got to get the.
Well, that is true. My underscore is bigger.
Just like the.
All right.
But I do want to say this before I go. This week, the WNBA Gambling Podcast is back.
Oh, yes.
The WNBA Gambling Podcast is back. Caitlin Clark. Hey, everybody that says they're interested in Caitlin Clark, I'm going to have a bunch of takes. We're going to make a bunch of money.
I actually have a bit for the show. Scott goes on a date with Caitlin Clark.
Oh, all right.
I feel like
feels like the most painful interaction.
I want to hear.
Do they just start talking basketball? I don't even think they start talking about relationships or getting to know each other. I think they just start talking basketball. So,
what's your thoughts on the 1-3-1 coming off a press?
Yeah, when you let them get that pick and roll, what was okay? Yeah, you're doing that. Okay, yeah.
So when you push off, are you actually pushing off, or are you just making the hand motion?
Have you seen these donkeys playing Price is Right? It's unbelievable.
It's Dominic the donkey.
Oh, can't wait.
It's so funny because Scott is randomly really, really good at Price is Right.
Oh, randomly.
What do you mean random?
Come on,
there's nothing random about.
He watches it every day. He's
a plus EV Price
there's
is
no
Right
games
player.
on. Thank you, Terrell. Make sure you check him out. NBA Gambling Podcast and WNBA Gambling Podcast. Wherever
week.
You get your
this week, tomorrow, first episode tomorrow, and the season starts next week on the 14th.
Let's get
Plug God. All right, Terrell.
Thank you, Terrell.
All right, see y'all.
Let it ride. Hey, of course, maybe you're looking to check out some WNBA or some NBA playoffs or NHL playoffs. It is playoff season. Perfect time. I went to a Dodgers game the other day. kind of a spur of the moment thing. My wife was like, "Hey, we're sitting around. Oh, Dodgers play this afternoon." I'm like, "Oh, I need some last minute tickets." Got some great tickets at a great price thanks to the Game Time app. And shout out to the listener. I ran into a listener who actually played baseball for the Mariners. I should have got your name. I apologize. Feel free to hit me up. I had a great conversation with him. Him and his dad were out watching the game. Ran into him. Came up. He was very nice. Loved the show. Yeah, so shout out to him. Hopefully he was using. I didn't ask him if he was there using the Game Time app. Didn't want to plug in the fan interaction. He was a super nice guy. And yeah, hit me up. I forgot to get your name, but appreciate the shout out. And Game Time, use that promo code SGPN, get you $20 off your first purchase. Last minute tickets. The weather's getting nice. Perfect time to go out, see a game. GameTime.co or download the Game Time app. Use promo code SGPN to get you $20 off. Kramer, let's draft.
All right.
Start your draft.
All right. So just we'll scroll around here. See what we it's already 5% filled, Sean.
Wow.
It's May 6th.
What are these people doing?
I think people get excited really early, but you really should pace yourself. And
Ryan, how many does it take to max enter?
150, right?
150.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and that's what, 3750?
3750. Yep.
Okay.
150 times 25.
Story checks out. Will you be max entering this season?
I haven't received any sort of plant.
Oh, okay. You're waiting for your cactus from Underdog.
And I got to be honest, right now, I was planning on max entering, but I also now have a thriving digital pony stable at Kramer Centric. DM me if you want to find out more. And so we'll see if I have the time.
Yeah, we'll get in on Underdog Baseball Mania. We're going to be doing a ton of these drafts, and of course, you deposit $100, you get $100. Do that now because that promo could be expiring soon. So you want to make sure you get in on it. And $100 is essentially 4 free entries into Baseball Mania 5. Kramer, I'm ready to hit enter whenever you are.
I just wanted to point this out. See this 401 to 539, 3750.
Yeah. So that's the last round,
lowest tier of making the finals, basically.
Okay.
So, which again, I'm not totally against it. 1.5 mil to the top. I don't have any controversial takes. Are you ready? I'm going to click the button.
I'm ready.
Poke my head in. Hopefully he doesn't want to check my location. All right. We got plenty of spots, plenty of seats.
Nice and warm.
Anyone who has
fetching your draft. I never noticed that. Fetching like a dog, Ryan.
Yeah. Go fetch my draft.
Any hot rookie takes or post draft takes, I would say that we want to get in on now.
Well, I would say nothing has changed in terms of my thoughts on most of the rookie. I guess the rookie running backs for the most part landed in spots that have made them less attractive to me. Trey Benson has James Conner in his way now. Marshawn Lloyd being in Green Bay is not super appealing.
Yeah.
I know he's a different kind of back to Josh Jacobs, but
I'd say Zamir White, the fact that Raiders didn't use high draft capital on him.
We were on that though. We were saying it does seem like Zamir White's going to be the guy.
Yeah, well, and now even more so. I would also say Rashad White, the White brothers, 2 guys off the top of my head, where maybe there was going to be a rookie to compete with. Now it doesn't seem like it. So those are a couple right off the top of my head that made me think. Brock Bowers, don't love that landing spot. It's okay though. You're still gonna probably be playing from behind.
He wasn't really on my radar. I guess for someone like Brock Bowers, it's like, okay, I've noted where he got drafted for stacks, and I have begun to, of course, Sean, I will be I may not max enter, but I am participating in a bare knuckle play week 1 of the NFL season out in Vegas. So I will be doing the no notes bare knuckle again. 30, I think it was 30 rounds.
Is it best ball?
Best ball. I did not do well this year. I did not finish well, but it was like I was a little thin at quarterback. I didn't factor in that quarterbacks were easier to remember, so people took them higher. Well, there's only so many. It's a little easy to remember 32 quarterbacks.
What were your quarterbacks, Ryan?
I mean, it was a typical team of mine. It was like Justin Fields, and I'll pull it up during the show right now. Oh, we're off.
We are off. Shout out to SGPN DGens only in the 1 spot.
Oh,
Kramer in the 4 spot. I'm late. I'm 12.
At least we're not next to each other.
Which I never really liked the 12. I guess it's fun having back-to-back picks because you end up being able to get your guys. I think 6 to me, it's as weird as it sounds, just evenly spaced out. I think makes a ton of sense. Ladd McConkey, I would say, is a guy that higher up on my board than he was pre-draft.
Of course, it has to be.
You're right. Yeah.
But I think, we can talk about it later. I don't want to give up anything, but I do think that there is a bit of a, he's created a bit of an inefficiency in the market, or at least that whole position group for the Chargers. You want to talk about bargain basement shit. Zach
Martin in the YouTube chat pointing out that SGP and the musical would be elite.
Would it?
Yeah, I mean, imagine like Scott singing some Christmas carols.
Oh shit, I didn't even factor in that Scott would be in it.
Good Colby singing, Patty C. We have some guy. I don't think for like organization wise, I think probably least singing talent known to man. I think even like just randomness, we don't have much singing talent in between us. Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, 1, 2, 3, 4. I would say Ramondre. The fact that Zeke is gone now is kind of and you would expect a run heavy offense. Not a bad spot for.
Who did
Ramondre.
They bring in? They brought some. I'm not. Forgive me. My brain is not 100% sharp right now. Again, it's the first day of a new season. Just ran my 2-year-old.
Well, they still have and of course he's talking about his horse, not a child. There,
I'm teasing.
Antonio Gibson. They have as his backup Kevin Harris, JaMychal Hasty. So
they didn't bring anyone in.
No, I think the fact that they got rid of Zeke and didn't bring in anyone else, obvious. Kramer took Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Bijan Robinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Why Jamar Chase, Ryan?
I mean, who are you taking? Who are you putting as the top receiver this year?
That's a good question.
To me, Jamar Chase right now.
Yeah,
is my top receiver.
I mean, him and Jefferson and Tyreek Hill. That's tough. Like, who's the obvious one of those 3?
The reason I'm taking Chase over Hill and Jefferson. Jefferson, obviously, there's a quarterback downgrade. It's impossible to look past that. And Tyreek Hill, I in some ways I want to say what I saw. I just don't. I'd rather draft Chase. I think maybe it's just a personal preference. I don't want to be in. Tyreek Hill is probably after Jefferson for me. CeeDee Lamb being number 2 is crazy. What are we doing here, people?
Yeah. Puka goes Garrett Wilson. Oh, I'm ready to throw up. I hate these. This is the worst place for me to draft.
Have you done a Gibbs draft yet?
No.
Jamar Gibbs. Just take
Gibbs?
Take Barkley then.
Do I take Barkley and Gibbs?
Yeah, that's. I mean,
Jonathan Taylor. Why do we not like Jonathan Taylor?
We do. I think if you want to go running back, and just have a boomer team and figure it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. 2 guys gonna get a ton of carries. Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor to start things out.
I mean, if you want to, if in some ways you pulling the trigger on only high running back value. Now that Howie says there's value in running backs. Because he wants,
the ultimate heel turn.
I mean, they're cheap. Think about it, Sean. You got the 4th and 5th running backs with
true.
Which think about it, a decade ago.
Hashtag value.
A decade ago, no fucking way. No fucking way. I love drafting this end of the board though, because you get the wide receiver you want, and then you also probably get another wide receiver that you like. Thoughts on Kyren Williams? They drafted Blake Corum.
Yeah.
Does that affect your take on Kyren Williams? He's dropping from end of 1st, early 2nd to end of 2nd, early 3rd. Basically dropped a round.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. I mean,
here he goes. Right. All right. So that's a little early for him based on what I've seen.
Devontae Adams, Brandon Ayuk, Drake London, and then Kyren Williams. Yeah. I mean, Rams like to run their guys into the ground, but they drafted a guy who is supposedly a lot like Kyren Williams. They used a decent draft capital on him. I think I think it's going to hurt Kyron Williams' production a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, how does it not? Devin Achane goes, and he's another guy. I think Dolphins drafted a running back decently high, didn't they?
Yeah, they drafted the kid out of Tennessee, Jalen Wright.
Yeah. So now they have Achane, they paid Mostert, and they drafted Jalen Wright. I like Achane, but for him to pay off drafting him round 2, pick number 8, he has to be incredible. I just don't think he's going to get the touches.
Hate the pick.
Yeah, Devon Achane, as Achane, as much as I like him, and I drafted a bunch of him last year, that was a good time to draft him. This year, I don't know. Chris Olave goes, Deebo Samuel. Kramer took Chris Olave. Kramer, shout out to you for having a shield.
Thanks, man. Not red though, not red. Just black.
Okay.
So Chris Olave is easy, right? There's no competition. Who's his competition for targets? Rashid Shaheed is his number 2. So, and then you got a bunch of tight ends. I will say though, this part of the, like, there's a bunch of receivers here. I'm going to be fine with whoever I get. And there's even a running back I would consider taking here.
Deebo, Josh Allen, Nico Collins, all off the board.
Thoughts on taking Nico and Steph? Okay, he went Nico, Steph Diggs.
Steph Diggs. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to build a,
feels rich. Feels a little rich for me, right?
Yeah,
a little rich.
And again,
that feels rich for me.
I mean, what's not to like about CJ Stroud as a guy? But I don't know. I do think he's slightly overdrafted in fantasy just because I don't know about his.
Very overdrafted. I mean, he's going before Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he doesn't have much of a rushing upside. I think, and that Texans offense likes to run the ball. Like, you could talk me oddly into Joe Mixon more than CJ Stroud. Especially if we're factoring ADP, right? Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp, Jalen Waddle still available. Mike Evans, DJ Moore. Mike Evans just goes. Kramer, you're on the clock. What are you doing?
When you have a chance. Oh God, do I take a homer pick here? Yeah. No, we're doing this is the first draft. I'm going to be serious.
No.
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore. So Ryan, you were alluding to Malik Neighbors right here up here as far as ADP. Who would you stack Malik Neighbors with? Drew Lock? Would you draft Drew Lock? Estimated I would shares of Drew Lock you'll have.
Oh, a lot. Drew Lock and Dan Jones at the end of drafts is going to be happening. A little bit. A little late stack, Hyatt lock, little third quarterback action.
Derrick Henry goes, Jalen Waddle. Derrick Henry, the fact that the Ravens basically cleared house running back wise, he's gonna get some.
Here's what I don't get about these number 1 receivers though. Derrick Henry here, like this team is, what is this? They're trying to compete with you with the 3 running backs.
Yeah,
Bijan, Kyron Williams, Derrick Henry.
I mean, I don't like Bijan and Kyron. Derrick Henry in the 3rd round. I feel like I might have some.
There is such a crop of receivers and then a clear gap to me that it does get difficult to not, like, even your team. It's like you have to take a receiver, or a pass catcher. I guess it could be a tight. I don't have a problem with. You're probably at the range where you could consider starting the tight end run.
Snagging Sam Laporta.
Oh my God, CJ Stroud in the 3rd round. Like, what are we doing?
And poor producer Josh not able to complete his Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs.
Oh
stack.
no!
Sam Laporta goes, Ryan. Okay. Is Sam Laporta your number 1 tight end?
We'll see. We have some time before that, but it is between him and I think it's probably him and McBride and Kelsey and Kincaid. Some quadrant there of 4. I'm all pretty interested in. I don't know if Sam, like, right now the tight ends are such where I'm not necessarily. I'm fine taking like the 4th or who's the 5th guy? Mark Andrews. So yeah, I would say the top 5 guys to me are all equally interesting, and I find myself not taking the first one. Oh, look at you!
Just grabbed a couple receivers, Devonta Smith and T. Higgins.
Yeah, you needed receivers. You did a good job there.
Thank you.
And now you have. I mean. So I've discussed this, and I've started to do this with my best ball drafts this year. But I think one of the ways you can be a little unique is by doing you have Devonta Smith and Saquon Barkley. So you spent a first and a third on a pairing of players from the same offense that you're not going to stack. I like this strategy this year. I think there's a number of teams you can do it with a high, like basically top 4 rounds, 2 guys from the same team, and you're not stacked.
I love Jalen Hurts. It'll be interesting to see fantasy wise if what the carries inside the 5 look like. Do they involve Saquon Barkley more near the goal line?
He is a goal line back. I assume that's what you brought him in for.
Who?
Saquon, yeah.
Yeah.
At this point in his career, he's lost a step. So he's more of a goal line back. That's why I'm saying that maybe he came in to run the.
No, I mean, and
the Philly special.
And if there's no Kelsey there, how effective is the tush push? That's interesting. Maybe they do run. Maybe at the 2 and 3 they run a little bit more Saquon instead of Jalen Hurts. It'll be interesting to see end of the season rushing touchdowns, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, what that split ends up being.
Yeah,
because they start obviously for fantasy that's huge. Keenan Allen, George Pickens, James Cook, Tank Dell, Zay Flowers, Kelsey, all available. Patrick Mahomes goes, Josh Jacobs, Travis McBride, Trey McBride. I don't know why I call him Travis. DK Metcalf.
Travis. Interesting time in the draft. What's your take on James Cook? He certainly has.
I don't know. I think, I don't know. How excited are you for a Bills running back? I get maybe they're going to try and run the ball more, but I don't know. I still think you lose a ton to Josh Allen rushing touchdown wise.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers goes.
Yeah. When in doubt, take a second year receiver, right?
Yeah. They're always primed for the breakout,
especially in this range, because if he does break out, which, harder to see in that offense because of the touchdown production, but you could see him getting a ton of stuff in that offense.
George Pickens goes. Isaiah Pacheco goes. Dalton Kincaid off the board as well. Kramer, you're coming up. Who's in the queue?
Well, we were discussing earlier the situation with Mark Andrews being the last of the tight ends here at the top, at least by ADP right now. I'd probably pass on him at this point because there's still other guys I like. And if I'm gonna draft DJ Moore, there's no reason I shouldn't be interested in Keenan Allen a couple rounds later. To a couple rounds later to start working up a Caleb Williams stack. Would only be fitting for me to draft Caleb Williams. Maybe is that irony?
I don't know. Maybe a coincidence.
That I'm drafting Caleb Williams and not the Giants.
Oh,
that's the irony, right? That is that irony.
Well, you guys never had a chance.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's just more. Yeah.
I thought it was because you kind of hated
quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Joe Mixon goes. Xavier Worthy off the board in the 5th round.
What is this guy doing? He's got a red shield. I don't know about that.
I don't know, man.
I don't know about that.
I think he could have a couple good games, but consistently awesome performances. I mean, in the 5th round.
That's a bad pick. I'll say it.
All right.
That's a bad pick.
Yeah.
It's a bad pick.
Although now it does sound there's rumblings that Rashee Rice is going to be 6 to 8 games. I still thought it would be the 2 to 4 range, but
we'll see. I was watching. All right, I like watching the social media clips. OTAs, rookie camps are starting. Sean, you could press this motherfucker.
He's very tiny.
No doubt you could press this. I mean, if you get a hand on him, you got him. He looks like a fucking. Again, Jalen Hyatt was skinny as fuck, and he weighed 170 something pounds. This dude weighed 160 something pounds. He's tiny.
Anthony Richardson off the board. This is a weird time for me draft wise.
Oh yeah, you love Anthony Richardson.
I love Anthony Richardson. Was hoping he would fall to me here.
This is a weird time draft wise. I mean, so you were talking about tight end last round. You're not a huge Mark Andrews guy.
No, not a Kyle Pitts guy.
Not a George Kittle guy. So not a time for you to be taking the tight end.
I can go Terry McLaurin. I mean, the dude is super consistent, if anything, right? Just going to get you 75, 80 catches.
Yeah. Him in the 5th and 6th round. I feel like I'm going to take him.
And a little bit of a stretch. not usually a guy who drafts non-rushing quarterbacks, but give me Joey B.
Fucking prick.
What?
I got Jamar Chase in.
Well,
there.
I have T. Higgins.
It's reaching on Joe Burrow like that.
How's that a reach? He
ridiculous.
was like, it was a 6 ahead his ADP.
That's ridiculous.
I'm drafted at the end of the round, Ryan. I'm not going to be drafting for a very long time.
Can't win them all.
No, you can't. Hey, reminder, whether you're a world-class athlete or a world-class podcaster, we all understand the importance of mental and physical well-being and proper recovery for top-notch performance. That's why I'm excited that Unified is sponsoring this best ball draft. Ryan, you're a fantasy football endurance athlete. I imagine you would benefit from the EE system. Unified Healing is a new, super innovative global network of wellness centers powered by the Energy Enhancement System, or EE system. If you haven't heard of EE system yet, you'll want to listen up. This technology promotes wellness, deep relaxation, purification, and rejuvenation. Whether you're here in LA or hundreds of other locations across the globe, access to a center is both easy and affordable. Interested in experiencing the EE system technology for yourself? Go to unifiedhealing.com/SGPN to learn more and find a center near you. That's UNIFYD healing.com/SGPN. No materials or testimony on the Unified Healing website are intended to be viewed as medical advice or a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment, and before undertaking a new healthcare regimen, including EE system. Kramer.
I'm going to take a pair of rookies, I think.
Shout out to ZD Mills saying, "Yo, fellas." Mike Robb saying, "Sean, you gonna get the early bird dinner special after this with your boomer start?"
Nice.
No,
look at my team. I'm the opposite of a boomer. 6 straight receivers. I might go 7.
Again, I just kind of I do have a bunch of old guys. Terry McLaurin, T. Higgins, Devonta Smith, some known commodities. Right?
Sean, I just passed on Aaron Jones. Can you believe that?
Oh, that.
Oh my God!
Rashi Rice goes, Roma Dunze, Calvin Ridley, Alvin Kamara, Brian Thomas Jr.
I took Brian Thomas.
I'm
drafting him a lot. I don't know. It just seems like they're going to have him do boomer bust stuff. It seems like they're going to have him do some fun stuff.
Damn it. Producer Josh took Ramondre Stevenson, Ryan. What, producer Josh?
Careful.
Are you listening to the show?
Gotta be careful with this guy.
George Kittle goes.
I mean,
Keon Coleman, Ryan. Are you going to try and draft Keon Coleman?
Oh my God.
George Kittle, David Montgomery, Fast Willie on the clock, right in front of us. No way, Fast Willie gets Lad McConkey. He's going to go Evan Ingram, Ryan. He's a red shield.
I don't want Lad McConkey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My opinion, I think.
Do you want Keon Coleman?
Yeah. I would love for him to not snipe me on Keon Coleman.
Oh, he takes Kyler Murray.
All right, 7 straight receivers at me.
What do they call those piss bros, Ryan? Because they're all.
Look at that piss.
Yeah, that's dehydrated pee.
Someone screenshot that beautiful start.
7 straight receivers.
That's how you're supposed to do it. Have you not? I mean, there's still plenty of running backs, dude. I mean, think about it. I've taken 7 receivers and Najee Harris is still on the board. I mean, that's a way to think about it.
That is a way to think about it.
It's a way to think about it. What are your thoughts on Keon Coleman versus Lad McConkey? Because they have similar ADP. And to me, I'd rather bet on. I understand both teams might be more run centric, but Keon Coleman's gonna have a chance to be the dude. And
that's true. He
had the great, the great gauntlet. Everyone, he didn't have a good 40 time, but that's it. You gotta always, every year there's a guy who has a bad 40 time. He slips. It was Kyle Hamilton a couple years ago with the Ravens. Keon Coleman was that guy this year.
Yeah, I think Lad is interesting from like a half point PPR point of view. Like I could see him getting a ton of easy stuff.
Who took Caleb Williams this early? Are you serious? Do you see my team? Now what am I going to do? This happens every draft, Sean. I wait on the quarterbacks, and now look.
Zamir White goes. Najee Harris goes.
All right, let's see what
people like quarterbacks, right?
Let's see how I mean, it's ridiculous the way they like the quarterbacks, though. Now I got no stacks. Don't worry. I got that one I was telling you about earlier.
Which one?
The Giants one.
Brock Purdy available, Ryan?
No, thank you. Do I have a 49er? No, I do not.
Donnie Mitchell for my teams where I have Anthony Richardson. I think that's going to be a fun stack.
I'm queuing up Spencer Rattler.
Jaden Daniels, Ryan. Are you going to get Jaden Daniels to pair with Brian Robinson?
What? No, I have
not Brian Robinson.
Brian Thomas. That's Goldilocks. Trevor Lawrence. Not Jaden.
Why did I think? Who did the Redskins didn't take a receiver? Did they?
No, you're thinking of Brian. Brian Robinson is on.
Yeah. All right, I got.
Ball.
Jordan Love just got drafted. I'm on the clock. Lad McConkey falls right into my lap. Of course,
it's a horrible pick.
No, it's not. Do I go crafty veteran?
Find another white guy.
DeAndre Hopkins, Ryan,
right on your team,
or Christian Watson?
You like Christian Watson. I'd much rather have D Hop or Chris Godwin. By a very, to me, Christian or D Hop and Godwin are in a well. There's another guy with them, but I could go 8 receivers.
Really?
I'm not kidding. Why not challenge yourself?
Trying to think of any good rushing quarterbacks left. I guess Justin Fields is it.
I mean, if you think he's going to start, I mean, I would put.
I think he will. I have a feeling he will start at some point.
What are your Jonathan Brooks? What's your take? He. I don't think he's going to start the year. He tore his ACL in like November.
Yeah.
Do people not watch college football?
No, and even I mean, yeah. And
I'm not trying to be mean.
ACL is always the year after the year.
Yeah.
Like even Breece Hall, like this year he's going to be real. Last year he was fine, but what was Breece Hall's final numbers? 994 yards.
Ooh, I'm about to be on
223 carries, 5 touchdowns. It does feel like he's going to explode this year, but I don't know about taking him that high. Brock Bowers goes, Raheem Mostert goes, Tony Pollard off the board. Dak Prescott goes. Kramer, you're officially on the clock.
I will take my first running back, Jaylen Warren. Welcome to the team.
You have a running back.
I have a running back. No quarterbacks yet. No tight ends. None of that shit. I might take a receiver here. There's one on the board that I really like.
Who is it?
That's a secret.
Jamison Williams?
No.
He's interesting. I mean, he's always like the ceiling is just so there for him.
They talk. I mean, Dan Campbell's on record this offseason talking about how he kind of saw that he was figuring it out there at the end of the year.
I mean, they were using him in the playoffs in big spots, so that to me shows they trust him. Now, if he can kind of keep his head on straight, not succumb to any tempting parlays.
Oh, it's always tough to get tempted by an old parlay. Oof, what do I do about quarterback? Oh, there's still some guys left. Justin Herbert's still out there. I mean, come on. You drafted Mike Williams at all?
I don't know. I mean, I guess yeah. If I had Garrett Wilson, if Garrett Wilson was there for me in the first round, yeah, I would probably toss Mike Williams and A-Rod in a draft stack together. I don't know if I'm taking him that often non-stackable. What about you?
No, only stacked probably. God damn it, Scroodle! I got Scroodled.
It's ironically his profile is not a poodle, which you would think if you're going to call yourself Scroodle, you would make it a poodle.
All right, why isn't Njoku falling this far?
Yeah, that's a good question. Kramer just drafted David Njoku. I feel like he was reliable, man.
And he has upside. He has what you want with a tight end. He has the ceiling. And it gives me another stack opportunity.
Khalil Shakir, do we like him, Ryan?
I always like him. I always feel like the fantasy community tries to sleep on him, but he just has elite running back vision. I know he is DeAndre Swift does not have vision.
Yeah.
Khalil Herbert's the opposite. And
Khalil. No, I said Khalil Shakir.
Oh, well, I think you said Khalil Herbert.
Oh, did I? Okay, I was looking at Shakir.
Shakir, I like more than Samuel. I don't understand Samuel being drafted over him. I think his ADP is slightly higher.
Tyler Lockett still got anything left in the tank?
For your Anthony Richardson stacks, not this one, not this draft, but the rookie Mitchell, who the GM got very upset with the media about, Adonai Mitchell
just got drafted.
That's a nice pairing, and he stacked with Anthony Richardson.
100%.
Very, very well done there. Are you going to take a rookie quarterback here?
Me,
Jaden Daniels. You have a Terry McLaurin opportunity.
That's true. I mean, he certainly. I don't like Jaden Daniels,
but he's your backup.
Term. Yeah, you're right, and I do.
He's a runner.
I do want a rushing quarterback to pair with Joe Burrow.
I'm going to have a lot of Jaden Daniels, I think, even though I think he's going to get hurt.
Yeah. But that's the kind of guy you take in best ball.
Yeah.
Gus Edwards, Ryan. Don't we go Gus Edwards? He's the number one running back on a run heavy offense.
Well, I think they're going to have a lot of running backs. That would be my concern.
But he's in the 9th round. I got him at the end of the 9th round.
You know, I like Gus Edwards.
Hop on the Gus bus. Greg Roman's coming over from Baltimore, has familiarity with Gus Edwards. So I took Gus Edwards, Jaden Daniels.
Gus Edwards is one of his guys. He's very much on record saying that. Roman, that is. Yeah, I'm not really sure why people are getting so excited about Curtis Samuel. I don't get his drafting in this position. I do like the Devin Singletary.
I think it's just people, the unknown of no Steph Diggs. Who's going to fill that target catch vacuum, right? Ultimately, I think it's just going to mean more Josh Allen running, or that's going to be the biggest benefit.
Yeah, but Curtis Samuel to me is a gadget player. He's a receiver without a true position. He can kind of do everything, but it takes someone who's going to use him in the right way for it to work. And he gets hurt a lot.
Yeah,
I'd much rather take Shakir, obviously Coleman, Kincaid. I'd rather wait and take Dawson Knox probably. Oh, I was going to take Trevor Lawrence this round, Sean. Going to pull the trigger on a little.
Sure you are.
All right, I wasn't really.
Robert Martin, I like, is in the chat giving us some play-by-play run on the Pacers Knicks.
Oh wow,
Knicks up 21-17 right now. 2 minutes left in the first. If you're watching,
we want Boston.
TJ Hawkinson goes. How do we feel about Hawk here in the 10th round?
When's he coming back? Wasn't his injury there was something a little bit more severe about it? I'm pretty sure he had a situation.
I'm not touching Hawkinson. ACL injury on Christmas Eve. Yeah. I know these guys come back quick, but I don't know, man. Because it's probably one of those weird things where it's probably going to be close. He's probably going to be back, but will he be 100%? Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh, I'm on the clock.
Are you interested in Blake Corum at all, Ryan? One Kyron Williams injury away from bananas.
I don't think so. Who I am interested in is Austin Eckler in this round. Drafting him all the time. You don't think this team falling behind is going to have a ton of fucking what you just expect Jaden Daniels to throw it deep every time because he had Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas in college. I think there's going to be a tremendous amount of. I mean, Sean, we were at a Washington State practice. We were watching the air raid rep in person, and all we saw was the running back running these arrow routes. It seems like Austin Eckler was brought in to do something very, very specific for Cliff Kingsbury, and I think he's going to catch a shitload of passes. Yeah. And I think it's crazy he's being drafted in the 10th round because if I'm going 7 receivers off the bat, this gives me a guy who's going to give me a floor every weekend, as long as he's healthy. But I don't really care in the 10th round if he gets hurt.
And in general, you can't really worry that much about best ball injuries in best ball, right? Because if your guy's going to get injured, that team is probably cooked.
Yeah.
I mean, you're almost better off trying to figure out guys that are falling because people are worried about them getting injured. Nick Chubb, probably a great example here in the 11th round. Producer Josh taking him. Massive upside. We'll see if he's ready.
He's not going to be ready.
Yeah. But I mean, let's say you have him for the playoff run. That could be pretty sweet.
Yeah, the guy to circle in 0 RB for like managed leagues is Deonta Foreman, who's on the Browns. I understand they. Oh, here we go. Hold on.
Kramer's on the clock. You going Chase Brown, Ryan?
Yeah, another guy who catch a pass or two.
Yeah.
Again, if you're building, I'm doing this to show everyone how nice your team looks when you start with all these stud receivers.
Yeah. Thank you. This is a learning experience.
But look at
for
this.
The audience.
Look at this. Jamar Chase, Chris Olave, DJ Moore, Dave Flowers, Keenan Allen, who I maybe don't take if I knew Dickhead was going to take Caleb Williams 3 rounds early, Brian Thomas Jr., Keon Coleman, and then I'm still fine. I don't have a quarterback yet, but that's all right. Kirk Cousins off the board. What are you hoping for here, Sean?
I just go BPA, Ryan.
Okay.
I don't hope for anything.
Maybe a trade down.
Let's see. Well, I'm 5 picks away. I feel like it's not.
You don't want to. Oh, really? You have no problem jinxing my picks.
Oh, that's different. Kirk Cousins goes, Ryan.
I'm sorry. Did something happen to my queue, or did someone draft? Okay, no, I must have been my queue.
What?
Well, Spencer Rattler exited my queue, and I was wondering if someone took him. What did he? Did he go?
No.
Okay.
Jaden Daniels went to me. Kirk Cousins went.
Just throwing curveballs out there so the shields don't get onto me. Spencer Rattler at the top of my queue right now.
Ooh.
I have an interesting queue right now. How many receivers do you have, Sean? Only 5?
Yep.
You don't even have a tight end yet.
No, I don't. Tight ends I like keep getting drafted.
So Josh Palmer just went. Josh Palmer's the guy that I like. Like, why is he going 5 rounds after Ladd McConkey? He kind of stepped up last year. I guess we'll find out if he can be one of Harbaugh's guy. Justin Herbert going this late also feels like a nice steal. As much as we hate him.
Jahan Dotson.
Oh, well, that goes well with your stack.
Yep. Jerome Ford, not that interesting. Marshawn Lloyd, Ty Chandler.
Yeah, I'll wait till you're done picking.
What?
I was going to tell you that you should cue Ertz for later.
I'm going to go Ricky Pearsall as well. I mean, 49ers used a 1st round pick on him. And there's still that. I don't think he's probably going to get traded, Ayuk or Debo, but that's certainly it's in the realm of possibility, right?
Ben Sinnott, you want to also throw on the queue?
Really?
Well, he's the other tight end with Ertz. The rookie out of Kansas State. I think 3rd rounder off on him.
It's true.
Some serious draft deck. I mean, they also signed Zach Ertz. And we've heard the conversations about like Cliff Kingsbury talking about his time with Zach Ertz. I think Zach Ertz just can play that system perfectly. Catch the ball, fall down. Catch the ball, fall down. I'm at an interesting point in my.
Ben Sinnott's ADP is 162. Zach Ertz 215. I mean, usually it takes a little bit for the tight ends to get going. Rookies.
Yeah.
You know, every once in a while there's an exception like Sam Laporta, but I don't know.
Rookie tight ends are tough.
Yeah.
Certainly if they feel reachy. Oof, what do I do here? Ooh, Jalen Wright off the board. 3rd running back from Miami already drafted, Sean.
Yeah. Everyone's just remembering that 70-point game. Isaiah Likely's still available, Ryan.
That's interesting. But I'm doing some purpose built drafting right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got to do this to set up something later.
All right.
I'm just gonna start off with a bang.
What's the ideal number of receivers you want?
18 rounds.
Yeah.
I think you want to have no less than, like, if you had studs like me, maybe 7.
Okay.
I think you want 7 or 8 probably.
All right. Gonna take some shots on some running backs.
Took another receiver. Jerry Jeudy. Paid him a lot of money, Sean. Paid him a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, it's just that offense is
We don't know.
I just put someone in my queue, Ryan, who doesn't have an ADP.
That's awesome.
That's how
They say that. No, that's the way to do it now. That's the new way to have an edge. Draft guys that aren't getting drafted, because then you have a difference edge. You're right. It's ownership. View a player by their ownership, not their ADP. So if you can be different by drafting someone that's not being drafted now, their ownership, their ownership will be low.
Story checks out.
Yeah.
All right. So I need 3 tight ends.
All right. I am going to take my first quarterback.
Whoa.
It might
round 13.
It might seem like a little bit of a reach, but what he's making 40-yard throws, double stack the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson, welcome to the team with Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku. You're jealous? This is his redemption tour. Everyone's forgotten about the hand jobs. Now that everyone's going to be talking about Tom Brady having a Will Smith moment with owner Kraft being made fun of for hand jobs, and shut your damn mouth. Really can't wait to watch this this Tom Brady roast. We had some people in the building, Sean. Sounds like they really went hard at Tom.
Oh, really?
Apparently Drew Bledsoe really had a one of the moments of the night.
Did they not air? They already aired it though, right?
Did they? I don't know. I've seen the clips, but
yeah. I'm pretty sure
it's Netflix. Do they do live stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Freiermuth goes. Darnell Mooney goes.
Yeah, I mean, I see, but just the idea that Drew Bledsoe's roasting you. I mean, he's a rich wine guy now. Got a wine guy.
You got to make a mole joke if you're talking.
They had the drugs guy in the first row, and he was constantly getting referenced.
The drugs guy,
the Guerrero guy.
Oh,
yeah. They were going. I mean, they were talking about Drew Bledsoe's joke was basically about how he's never going to celebrate his 23rd wedding anniversary. Like it just deep cuts. Yeah.
Burn.
Yeah, some serious.
Tyler Algier goes right in front of me. I'm on the clock.
Gronk spiked a shot glass and shattered glass all over the place.
Sounds Gronky.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Kendra Miller. Second year running back, massive upside.
Great pick.
Thank you. And then
I would have taken him. Came back to me. Great pick.
Got to scroll down a little bit, but also like Jaleel McLaughlin. Seems like a Sean Payton guy.
Maybe. I have no idea what to think about the Denver running back situation this year. Very difficult. Samaje Perine still there. That Javonte Williams is still there. They drafted. I'm blanking on who they draft. Sean, who'd they draft? They drafted the kid out of Notre Dame, Audric Estime, whatever the fuck his name is. Who I don't think he seems kind of like a fucking AJ Dillon clone. Doesn't seem very exciting.
I got 4 spots left, Ryan. I think I'm going to go 3 tight end, 1 wild card.
I have 8 receivers, 3 running backs.
You like Luke Musgrave this year, Ryan?
Yeah,
I like him too. But
I would I would stack with for you.
Yeah.
Oof. The running back class is getting thin. I don't even know how to handicap this. We're gonna.
Oh, Ben Sinnott goes.
Really fucked up.
That's fine.
What's fine?
Ben Sinnott going.
Well, I'm on the clock. I was given no warning.
You're on the clock, Ryan.
Oh, another pass catcher. Perfect for my build. Antonio Gibson. That's the Ramondre Stevenson problem.
Antonio Gibson catches the ball.
Yeah, just a lot of
yeah, I guess just touchdown wise, that kind of stuff.
It does seem like Ramondre is going to be the guy on when they're in the lead, which I'm sure that Patriots team will be crushing a lot of opponents. So I'm sure he'll be. I don't know. Antonio Gibson is very interesting to me this year. He's been another one that I'll draft on all these teams. All of them.
Luke Musgrave goes. He was in my queue. Who did it? Producer Josh.
Dick.
Right.
He's such a. That's not the first time he's done that to you.
No.
All right. Let's see here. Gonna need to figure out a quarterback.
How do you never draft quarterbacks?
Well, I'm gonna get a stack here.
Okay, what are you gonna stack? You got Deshaun Watson. Roshan Johnson just went. Derek Carr. Wow.
With Chris Olave, a lot of volume. That's why I was hoping to get Kendre Miller earlier. And I'll take one more quarterback. Don't worry. I know you're worried.
Just a little worried.
We'll go. I'm gonna sacrifice a tight end probably. I did want to have 3 tight ends on a lot of these teams. Are you shocked to see? Like, what are you surprised?
Adam Thielen goes.
What are we surprised that's happened? Adam Thielen is going way too late. Again,
Yeah.
No one learns their fucking
I know.
lessons.
He's still gonna. They still are gonna have a shitty offense. Who needs?
He's not
a guy like
athletic.
Adam Thielen to catch a bunch of passes.
He's not tantalizingly athletic. Who cares? He gets open. Last year he was the only guy that got open. That's why he got all the passes.
Who's beating him out for targets? Deontay Johnson?
Maybe.
Xavier Legette?
No.
Jonathan Mingo?
I think Deontay Johnson and Adam Thielen are going to have good seasons.
Deontay Johnson's interesting.
Yeah, but what round did he go?
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson went rounds ago.
Did he? Was he really? I mean, I like them both relatively to how late they would be drafted. So I guess I would like Adam Thielen better.
Yeah, this is the 3rd receiver drafted from the Panthers.
That's crazy.
Did you guys watch the team last year?
All right, Khalil Herbert goes. I'm on the clock.
No.
Ryan, bring it back. Give me Chigoziem Okonkwo and
you poking a little.
Mike Gesicki.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Mike
Gesicki.
Great pick to go with the Burrow teams.
Thank you.
He is free, and he's gonna you don't think he's gonna catch touchdowns?
Yeah, no, it is. It's interesting. They don't have a ton of volume, but they're not. Joe Mixon didn't get a lot of rushing touchdowns last year. I don't know what they're gonna do. Running the ball inside the red zone, but I think Gesicki's gonna definitely have a role in the pass catching.
Yeah.
Got my last 2 players lined up, Ryan.
You already know?
I'm pretty sure. Again, one of the guys is going undrafted. The other guy has an ADP of 215.
I love both of that. You're going off the board.
Yeah,
but not your board.
No, you're on my board.
On your board.
Yep.
Damian Pierce going to go undrafted. How you feeling?
Yeah, I don't know. Like they claim he's going to have a role in the offense. I'm super skeptical on it. I mean, their offense was good last year. Why would you go out of your way to incorporate Damian Pierce, who I think is a good running back? It just seems like the scheme really doesn't fit him. I do think there's a chance. I don't know. Would they trade him? I guess probably not, because he's on a really cheap deal, and he is a good running back. So I don't know. Unfortunately for our boy Damian, I think he's kind of stuck there in Houston.
I don't get it.
He'd be interesting on another offense.
I don't get it. He was so electric.
I think he runs hard. The only thing I can see is like scheme.
Let's see. What do I have to? I have to take a quarterback, a tight end, and a running back. Maybe is 4 running backs enough when Jalen Warren's your first? It could be dangerous. Oh, Luke McCaffrey went. Sean, I'm sure he was in your queue.
I was considering taking him, but I didn't. Scheme wise,
I like how people are. I mean, does he get drafted here if he's not Luke McCaffrey?
No,
probably not.
What was his actual draft?
4th round? I think 4th round. Let's see. Yeah, 4th round. Am I on the clock? Not yet. Do I also take Spencer Rattler? That's a joke.
I would take Justin Fields over Spencer Rattler.
No, I got to get another tight end.
I mean, it's one of those things. Juwan Johnson, Kramer. Why'd you take him?
I got Carr.
Yeah, makes sense.
Easy.
Not any. Our boy, whatchamacallit?
Who?
Coach's son.
Oh no. He's a quarterback.
You can't play him as tight end.
Can't play him as tight end.
That's annoying.
Yeah. Bo Nix still available.
Are you going to have many Bo Nix shares?
No.
Yeah, I think Bo Nix is a guy I could find myself betting on as a big dog, but not interesting fantasy wise. Kind of I like Julian McLaughlin, honestly. I think he could have a decent role. Only 5 running backs. I'm going to get one more running back, one more tight end.
I think I'm supposed to take one more.
One more what?
Quarterback and one more running back.
Yeah, because your quarterbacks suck. I would honestly take a Justin Fields here, Ryan, because he's a guy that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to take.
You could see him again later in the season, maybe in the fantasy playoffs, having a 12 carry game.
Oh, he already got taken.
Okay.
Oh, then this is easy.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Will Levis, but you don't have any sacks with him.
Do I need a stack?
Oh wait, is it going to be Mr. Jones himself?
No, I can't. I wouldn't do that to myself. Not right now.
Minshew's available, Ryan.
I could take Taysom Hill.
Greg Dortch off the board. Kramer, you're on the clock. Are you taking the third quarterback?
Actually, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm going to go Rod. I need another tight end's more important. Give me Jonnu Smith.
Jonnu Smith, Miami.
They signed him. They're doing something with him. He'll get some touchdowns. That's all you want. You want him to participate in a 3-man weave with touchdowns. Is there a tight end you like better out there? Noah Fant, perhaps?
Yeah.
Darren Waller? Zach Ertz still available? You're not actually going to draft him, are you?
Why would I not draft him?
Because they drafted a rookie from Kansas State, who everyone loves. Although they say they play different positions.
Yeah.
So. What do I know?
I mean, Ertz is my third tight end. I think, especially early in the season, he's going to be useful.
So my queue has a bunch of a bunch of quarterbacks, and then Tyrone Tracy Jr. Giants running back, converted wide receiver.
Really? Who is going to be the number 1 Giants running back?
Singletary. I said earlier, I like that pick. He'll be fine. He ran hard for that Texans team last year. He'll be the same as Barkley.
You want to run back the mustache bet? Devin Singletary, Saquon Barkley.
Oh, that's an interesting bet.
That's a loaded question.
What are the odds? Like regular mustache versus Hitler stash for you?
Well,
I mean, he's like in the conversation for like
they're both starting running backs.
Yeah, but one is like potential is like a top 5 favorite for offensive player of the year.
Yeah, come on, we know that's markets inflated.
I'm just saying.
Oh, all of a sudden you're a market guy.
I am sometimes. Let's see. Do I need another quarterback? I have Deshaun Watson, Derek Carr. How would you feel if all you had was Deshaun Watson, and Derek Carr?
I wouldn't feel good. I do feel good because I just drafted Zach Ertz and Carson Steele. Right, Carson Steele on that Kansas City Chiefs offense with Andy Reid coaching them up.
I like that you had him in the queue. I had a feeling this is who you were talking about when you said undrafted. Like, who are the fantasy nerds not onto that Sean's onto?
Both undrafted in real life and fantasy.
Yes.
You got to have a couple Carson Steele shares.
How do I finish this team off, Sean? Do I not take?
Well, ask Deshaun Watson, right?
I'm not touching Deshaun Watson.
Doesn't apply to Kramer here. Hey, reminder, MLB gambling podcast alive and well. You don't even have to like baseball. You just want some day game action sitting at your desk. Fire up the MLB gambling podcast, get some free picks. And then, I mean, nothing makes, if you're at like a desk job or a boring job where you have access to either, watching a side TV, your laptop open, refreshing game casts, baseball, especially day baseball. Great for that. Tune in to the MLB Gambling Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
You think Drake May is going to start?
At some point. Not right away, though.
Do have a nice Drake May, Antonio Gibson stack there. I'm staring down the barrel. You know what I'll do? Well, let's go this. Little Russell Wilson to Jalen Warren. Last round stack. Are you kidding me?
Great stack.
The redemption story.
All right, my quarterbacks. I got Joe Burrow. I got Jaden Daniels. Running backs. I got Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, Gus Edwards, Kendre Miller, Jaleel McLaughlin, and Carson Steele. For receivers, I got Devonta Smith, T. Higgins, Terry McLaurin, Lad McConkey, DeAndre Hopkins, Jahan Dotson, and Ricky Pearsall. Tight ends, I got Chigoziem Okonkwo, Mike Gesicki, and Zach Ertz. Ryan.
This may be my best first draft of the best Ball Mania season ever.
Wow.
Deshaun Watson, Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, Jalen Warren, Austin Eckler, Chase Brown. My screen closed. Antonio Gibson, Jamar Chase, Chris Olave, DJ Moore, Zay Flowers, Keenan Allen, Brian Thomas, Keon Coleman, Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku, Juwan Johnson, Jonnu Smith. Maybe I shouldn't have taken that third tight end, but I told myself I was taking 3 tight ends in every team this year.
Well, you did it, Ryan. Mission
did
accomplished. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. Get in over there. Get yourself signed up. Hey, we got a great week of shows. What are we talking, Ryan?
You took 2 quarterbacks before I even took my first. Real donkey maneuver on your part. All right.
It's Dominic the Donkey.
Wow. It's a holiday song, but somehow it works all seasons. Well, we're talking. We're gonna do some rookie player props tomorrow.
Oh yes.
Figured they not only they just have to open every market. So we'll take a look at some of the most passing yards, most receiving yards, maybe a couple actual yardage props. We'll do UFL picks. We're still talking about that shitty
dominating league. The UFL once again. Hit my lock,
and then
hit my dog.
I don't know. Right now we got a little hole for Wednesday.
Okay,
so we'll figure it out. Maybe a little NBA, maybe some puck, maybe something random. We'll see. We'll be here though.
I always got some stuff to gamble on. Thank you as always for tuning in. Toss us a nice rate and review. You just made it through an entire best ball draft. You got to be a fan. Toss us a nice rate and review. Always appreciate it. Always helps the show out. Helps us keep the content train, the free ride of the content train, alive and well. Smash that subscribe button, and of course,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
Can you just give me Big Play Dave one more time?
I'm not touching Deshaun Watson.
Kramer, let it ride.